Hey YouTube, Lumber's Post 1975. Welcome back to my can't help but laugh when I say that word, sorry. My semi-regular series of gaming community shoutouts. This is number 3. Now there's a reason that it's sort of, a semi-series and somewhat every now and then, it's not that frequent, but that's because while wanting to shout out new channels, I generally only want to shout the ones I really am passionate about, the ones I really do enjoy and think are fantastic. I look forward to their new videos when I see them appear in my sub feed, and I want people to go and check them out. I think they deserve more attention. Now, it's funny because Steve Benway shouted out this channel before me. It's how I came across the channel. Sorry, walked into that one. Which in itself proves what a brilliant thing that shout-outs are. I do have to do it. I know I do it every one of these videos, but Google doesn't really care about the small individual anymore, which is why, as a community, it's important that we all look after each other. And as long as we back each other up, then Google can piss on everyone's chips as much as they like, but they're not going to affect us as a community. That's why shoutouts are important, and I ask everyone to do their fair share. Now, why do I like this channel? I love this channel because it concentrates on the early 8-bit gaming days. I mean, I know other people do, but he really goes and picks obscure games, uncommon games. Now, as someone who comes from 8-bit computers, I grew up with a Spectrum. I love that era of gaming, and I'm well aware of, that with all the bedroom programs out there at the time, there were some absolutely odd titles and some brilliant gems. Also, I was never exposed to the other systems that he covers, such as the Commodore machines and the early Atari computers, so I really do like that aspect. The other thing I really enjoy, because it's gameplay commentaries, and I love gameplay commentaries, they're amongst my favourite videos, is he's very informative, and he's very articulate, and I like that. Not only does he deliver all the information to you in an incredibly brilliant, focused manner, you get everything. You get everything from the cartridge to the box art to talking a little bit about the programmer and a little bit about the system. You get the full mechanics of the game explained to you, but you get it done in an absolutely compelling, brilliant way. A great amount of humour. Clearly some of his personality is up there when he's talking, and I like that. I like when people invest themselves in what they're doing. His humour is brilliant. It's offbeat, it's very quirky and funny. Sometimes it's quite dry, which as an Englishman I absolutely love and adore. He never takes himself too seriously, but at the same time, as I said, you walk away knowing exactly what that game is about, and these are amongst my favourite type of gameplay videos. He's also very honest in his opinions, and I like that because he's not being rude, but he's all about open debate and discussion in the comment section. And he's someone who loves to do vloggy waffles and is about the same thing. I love someone else who likes to promote that sort of thing as well. So before we get to his section of the video, since Google like to probably piss on people's chips these days and can be quite overly fierce in the policing nature of YouTube, all the material music in this video that Cris submitted for me was written and performed by himself, and I have the complete permission of the author to use it, even though it's him using it in his video within my video. You know what I mean. Once again, I have given the individual complete access to my channel. Whatever they wanted to do, that's what they can do. It's their forum, it's their podium. So, one more thing. Meet Classic Gaming Webcast. Cris.
One of the reasons I love living in Albuquerque, in spite of the fact that I'm not from here, I'm from Buffalo, New York, talk about a difference, is that I love to walk. Southwestern cities have this great combination of plenty of big interiors with everything you need, and a lot of massive exteriors. It's no wonder I've never had writer's block in my life. Just a walk away in any direction are all of the inspiration and endorphins I need, right at my feet. I don't compose because of ego or anything pretentious, or even, obviously, to be a useful member of society. To hell with them. I enjoy the very process. I'm kind of obsessed with music, to be direct about it, and anything about me has to start with that. I've managed to combine reality and not letting it down, if you like, with fantasy. But a lot of that's another story. Suffice it to say that you don't need fancy stuff that others have told you is special.
Castle walls.
Everything's in how you look at it, you know? And I'm perfectly sane. Go figure. I'm just
gloriously selfish
with my spare time. I mean, look at this. Not half a mile from my apartment. I didn't even know any of this was here before I moved in. Leave the car at home and explore once in a while. You might be surprised by what you find, no matter where you live.
Why did you let her fall in love with you? You were only gonna treat her like shit. Why did you build these dreams for her?
Now, don't let the fact that I've written a lot of rock songs, too, fool you. I'm still also, gloriously, a nerd, or whatever people call someone who does what he likes. Hell, if you enjoy the process itself, instead of rushing to get a finished project, you can play all the instruments yourself. Hey, if I can do it, you can. Discover the joys of overdubbing.
Won't you try talking with yourself once in a while instead of anyone who listens? Would you mind just moving along, my little stranger? Would you mind just scooting your ass right on over? Would you mind just moving along, my little stranger? I think I wanna be alone again. Yeah.
If you're fortunate enough to find your joys in life, or even your joy, run with it. Because a lot of people never talk with themselves about what they really love to do with their fleeting lifespans.
What they can be excited about.
When they wake up, don't compromise for anybody. You only go around once, man. I try to live in the moment. I enjoy the process of these things, of game playing, book writing, music writing. Who cares if anyone actually hears any of it? You are your own best audience. I'm not good at self-promotion anyway, in spite of everything you just saw. I just wanted to make a nice intro, since Dave was kind enough to invite me to send this to him. So anyway, considering all of that, it's no wonder that I still love playing video and computer games. And that brings me to the actual subject of this little film, which is an acknowledgement, with great respect, or in the modern vernacular, a
shout out
to the very awesome Dave, whom you know from his channel, which you're now ostensibly watching, Lawn Boys Post 1975. I really dig your channel, Dave. Your positive attitude and your warmth toward fellow game players and channel havers is refreshing. The reason I was kindly invited to do this is that I have a channel, in spite of the fact that I don't watch television, but it's okay, it's on YouTube, and it's called the Classicgamingwebcast. I try to show you how to play games that aren't commonly covered, and I'm free with my penchant for silliness, as well as blunt about my opinions, which theoretically invites friendly debate, or at least something a little different from just a synopsis of each game. Here's just the tip of the iceberg, the shaft of the joystick. Why, that's almost obscene. So you bring the guys you've rescued back up to the giant space helmet at the top, for some reason. Good thing their heads aren't really that big. They wouldn't even fit inside the shuttle. And on that subject, wouldn't it have been smarter to show up in a shuttle that could carry more than one passenger at a time? I know that defeats the purpose of the game, but just to be in context about it, what kind of shuttle only carries one guy, plus the pilot? Maybe it's a gay little Mini Cooper shuttle, or a Fiat shuttle. It's a smart shuttle. What the hell is that? The Swimming Man. Sounds like a bad 80s action movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is the swimming man. Get out of the pool! Everybody out of the pool!
The game version of the movie, the manual probably says,
You are the swimming man.
remember when manuals used to do that?
You are Indiana Jones.
Or whatever.
You are an oven. We're sorry. You should have bought another game.
Bake your way through 20 tedious levels.
Ooh, look at that. Not very bright, are you?
I like that in an enemy. Well, this game sucks. I shot the shit out of that window. And the shit's still in it.
That's P. Find the letter S.
Oh, this game's for stupid people. Okay. They don't look a great deal like Mickey and Minnie, really. Although I have a terrible feeling they're supposed to. When you exceed single-digit damage, indicated near the lower left there, head for your carrier immediately. And I don't mean your mail carrier. This is no time to cut out coupons. Thank you for dying. Have a nice day. You've been killed by Cris. If you've enjoyed this death, you might enjoy several million of our other deaths in various games. Oh, you don't drink their blood or kill them or anything. You turn them into 50s. Maybe this is Dracula's cousin, Count Mathula. Ooh, he can knock on doors.
How interactive.
I like that in a game.
Excuse me, I'm from Nosferatu's Witnesses.
Now, I'm going to sleep. So that's the whole objective of the game, to take a nap. Well, we've determined that space scrolls, which I've always suspected, and that you can only have 2 giant boogers in space at once, which the astronauts throughout history have told us countless times, of course, or at least I'm not going to count them, and that the Space Hawk is in fact the enemy in this game, and a massive Space Hawk it is. I better not get underneath it. We've now seen what Hawk droppings are like in zero gravity. Of course, maybe he's building a space nest. Maybe I should just leave him alone. He's just scared. Like, what the hell am I doing in space? I'm a hawk. That'll teach me to fall asleep while I'm flying.
You are a shoe.
Get out of here, Kite. Your string's hanging. So, after stopping to tie my space laces, I prepare enemy landscapers who've gotten into their own ships and are trying to shoot you or ram you above the planet of well-kept lawns.
The flora's strong with this one.
And in this version, the Earth doesn't explode if you lose. It just flashes a lot. I guess the alien landscapers just cook our planet. I hope they eat around L.A. Alien indigestion is not a pretty sight. Leonard Bertoni, a fellow Italian, huh? You can tell, because the ledges look like pepperonis. This is a terrific game. Once you figure out what you're doing, it's pretty tempting when you think about playing it.
You are Time Master Tim. In a world, one man.
That's the whole movie commercial for Dino Eggs. Did you like it?
Dino Eggs. Rated R.
What I obviously never realized was that you actually needed to attend pilot school to even know what you were doing in this game. So first, oddly enough, for way back then, I guess you need to tell the computer what kind of display you're using. Strange request, but okay.
Computer, I'm using a monitor.
You'd think I wouldn't need to be told that. What do I do, designers of Smuggler?
We don't know. We haven't read the manual either.
You can jump, so that's something. Looks like you should be smuggling toupees. Mike Wacker. Good for you, Mike. Takes a lot of guts to come out in public with a name like that. My bird doesn't like eggs. Picky, picky. So what do I do with all this Dunkin' toast?
Mr. Bird, if that is your real name.
I've had enough of this. Why don't I just leave and let you get on with your life?
Fine, do what you want. I'm gonna go cry in the corner.
It won't work. I'm out of here. I want my life back, you controlling, guilt-baiting demon. Don't spare any further thoughts for me. I'm leaving. Really I am. I'm taking my linen. I don't suppose you remember where our front door is. I am now a story in your past. I'm no doormat. You'll be just fine. It wasn't really love anyway. I mean, Look at the shape of my head. I suppose you expect an apology that I couldn't save up for that operation.
Now you're dead, ain't ya? Oh wait, you can't hear me. You're dead.
At the end of each wave, you get a score bonus for the amount of remaining pixels in your swarm, times the wave number, minus the stripes on each B, plus the amount of letters in your mother's maiden name, divided by your blood type, according to a special table. I don't know. That might be closer to the truth than it seems, but don't quote me when you're writing your book about killer bees.
Well now, what do we got here? Looks like you need to be rescued.
Yeah, you gonna do it or what?
Well, maybe I will, and maybe I won't.
What?
Okay, I'll help you. Maybe.
What kind of fireman are you?
Well, I guess you'll have to hope to find out.
Come on, you jerk.
Well, with that attitude, forget it. I have things to do at home anyway.
Okay, sorry. Just get me out of here, will you?
Okay, I'll save you. Oh, lunchtime.
But you're remote controlling a tiny injected vehicle, a robotic probe, in order to heal the patient from within. And this hobbyist surgeon ain't messing around. You shoot everything that's ailing the patient and leave another doctor to deal with the later hemorrhaging. I wonder if you can buy microscopic remote-controlled robotic probes at the hobby store. You could play some awesome pranks.
That's funny. I could have sworn I was lactating for a second there.
Okay, folks, on our tour of the innards, please stick to the designated paths, or things will get gross pretty quickly, okay? And no graffiti. You have to be this short to be allowed into the patient. People aren't really shaped like this inside either, and it's a good thing. Imagine trying to get comfortable at bedtime. Boy, look at the way these guts are arranged. This guy has far more problems than I can help him with. Either they're tumors, or this guy's shoving baby squid up his nose. Maybe it's a religious thing. There's a lot of them plaguing this particular patient. Holy cow. What the hell did you do? Take better care of yourself, fella. You seem like an incredibly intelligent guy, given that your brain's literally bigger than your stomach, and your kidneys put together. To fix the intestines, since you don't have an antacid weapon, which is probably for the best, really, you want to use your default ultrasonics to take out the tapeworms that lurk therein. Thankfully, the game doesn't extend below that, or things could get very unsettling, and I'm almost certain there's no air freshener weapon that I haven't noticed. We can all be grateful that there wasn't a sequel. Where could they go from here? You know?
Microsurgeon 2, colonoscopy.
To improve the lungs, you'll want to fire at these tar deposits. The guy's not a smoker, he sniffs tar. Look, you guys are gonna die anyway. You might as well just make it easy on yourselves. That guy looked like he was trying to get between us, didn't he?
You don't try to stop a fight in joust. Why, a guy could get killed that way.
Let's turn our attention toward the soon-to-be ex-buzzards. It's like surfing for smart people.
Piggy. Piggy?
Sorry, Kermit. One bad cover song too many, pal. Your number's up.
It's not easy being lunch.
There are bouncing things that react like the pods in Defender when you shoot them, splitting into several little power tools, apparently, that want to destroy my Scorpion. That's no way to get on my good side.
I love what you guys have done with the place.
It's kind of a collect-em-up platform game, ain't it? Well, at least they're Frisbees. That's more fun than the typical things. And it's original. Normally it's fruit, coins, or hostages. There was someone, did you see that? There was a guy who wanted to fight, but just a little bit.
Touché. Never mind.
Dropping it on top of one of your prior bricks. Being careful not to hit her with one, since it never occurs to her to get out of the way. In other words, your biggest challenge, while attempting to save Mary, is that Mary is a moron. It's like dancing for smart people. Of course, if it is a fishing line, it sure as hell is a strong one. Call the construction companies. I have a way to save them a lot of money. Thank you for playing Save the Moron, TM, by Axlon. If you've enjoyed saving this moron, you may enjoy Defender, in which the people below don't even have the common sense to go inside. There's not even much substance to really criticize. These games almost don't even exist. They're almost zen over there at Mythicon. the only software company in history where it would seem the founder, designer, programmer, package illustrator, accountant, and janitor were all the same guy. See, you just fly across every screen, from left to right, and eventually you arrive back at the first screen. If you want to, you can just ignore the bad guys and keep the joystick held to the right. And then the object is just to move from playfield to playfield over and over again. It's like a primitive screensaver that has to be operated manually. The only groundbreaking feature seems to be the random music generator, so you have to be quick to keep from being killed from above by this pumpkin.
It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Ow!
So, if you should ever get injured, or you keep eating fast food and TV dinners and you get really sick, and you wind up in the hospital, drugged up so much that you can hardly move, you'll still be able to play games. Just ask someone to bring over your Atari 2600, hook it up to the TV in the room, and plug in the Mythicon game. At least you'll be able to play something until you recuperate enough to move on to something more exciting, like Canyon Bomber. So that's a sampling. Thanks again to Dave at Lawn Boys Post 1975. Damn good year. I was 3. Dave, I appreciate your support of the retro gaming community, as it's often called, and of course your encouragement that I make one of these little shout-out films for your
Gracious hosting.
Bye for now. Send some of that beautiful English rain over here.
So there you go. You met Classic Gaming Webcast, or as I know him, Cris. As I said, he is in my channel list, and I will put a link in the doohickey down below. I think it's safe to say you certainly know what his channel is about now. And as I've been mentioning about his channel, and know what it's like, I think you can see from that clip that he's a very, very passionate person. And I love his attitudes towards having a YouTube channel, making videos, making music, just in life in general, which is don't be afraid to try new things, never hold yourself back. We've only got one shot at this. I think that's brilliant. We could all learn a thing or two from that. So it would mean a lot to me if you went and checked out his epic channel. Oh, one more thing for you, Cris. Come on, you know you and me want to throw down at Pac-Man on the 2600. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.